So we start with a strange connection between our state and an immigration story playing out on a national stage. So by now, you've likely heard about the surprise arrival of Venezuelan migrants to the wealthy island enclave off the coast of Massachusetts. Now, we are learning that some of those families are expected to check in with immigration offices in Western Washington by Monday, or they risk deportation.
Fox 13's Alejandro Guzman has more on our local connection to an immigration story playing out across several states right now.
A warm send-off to the 50 Venezuelan men, women, and children who unexpectedly showed up in Martha's Vineyard 48 hours ago.
But it feels bad because we arrived to a place that they weren't waiting for us.
It's been a long, 36 hours wherever we're at this point. When they got off the planes, they were really confused. They were lied to about where they were going, what was going to greet them when they were here. And we weren't alerted to it.
Boston immigration attorney Rachel Self telling Fox 13 via statement, quote, "Before they boarded planes, that migrants were processed by agents of Department of Homeland Security who listed falsified addresses on migrants' paperwork. Agents apparently chose random homeless shelters all across the country, from Washington state to Florida." Self says this is especially troubling because from her legal perspective, this is a clear and intentional attempt to make sure migrants were removed. Legally, migrants are required to check in with the ICE office nearest to them or be permanently removed from the U.S., some of them requiring to check in as soon as this coming Monday. Self-statement reading in part, quote, "There is no other reason to list as someone's mailing address a homeless shelter in Tacoma, Washington, and then ship them to Massachusetts. It is sickeningly cruel."
It is not illegal to come to the United States and ask for asylum.
Seattle immigration attorney Tamina Watson says lawyers across the country are signing up to help families traveling across several countries for weeks and months to get to the U.S. seeking asylum, but says this is just a stunt on behalf of governors.
It's a political maneuver. It is it's an election maneuver likely, and people's lives should not be used this way. The legality of what the governor has done has to be looked at.
While Watson cannot confirm how many families are scheduled to appear in court in Western Washington or if documents were in fact sent to shelters in Tacoma, she says migrant cases will be more challenging.
It's definitely not the responsibility of the shelter, and the shelter isn't the one that's hearing the cases, it's the courts. So are the courts being notified? And so the confusion is on many levels, and that needs to be cleared up.
Massachusetts State Representative Dylan Fernandez says several officials, including Senator Markey, Elizabeth Warren, and Bill Keating, are in direct contact with DHS.
I know they're working with them and with the immigration attorneys to make sure that anyone that has an upcoming appointment, whether false or not, I can't comment on that, but if they have a real appointment, that those appointments are getting postponed and there's a stay in those cases.
For now, the migrants' long journey continues as President Biden's Justice Department is now weighing legal options to stop the governors from moving migrants to sanctuary cities and states. Alejandra Guzman, Fox 13 News.
Republican governors continue to send migrants to areas run by Democrats, a move to force non-border states to deal with the logistics of caring for immigrants. After locals helped the men, women, and children who arrived on Martha's Vineyard, they've been moved to military housing on Cape Cod.